Exterminate them before they infest all of Uldum.
Wait. Oh. Wait, doesn't Nyalotha move? I think it does.
showing you. I'm literally showing you a picture of a laser bending. Literally showing you.
Bend.
But what am I showing you then?
What the hell is that
Well,
then? That looks like
Something wrong with that laser.
That's a
Lasers don't
laser.
bend.
That laser is bending.
So
I'm literally showing you a picture of a laser bending.
So how do they shoot straight if they want it to go straight? How do they make it go straight?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, is that laser experiments are completely pointless because light. Stop talking. Right, stop talking. Vlad, you asked the question. Vlad, you asked the question. Now you need to stop talking and listen to the answer. So.
That laser looks like skeptic little limp dick bending down, just
So
like that.
so the laser's bending.
That laser appears to be about 12 inches long, flaccid. So thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully you're a shower.
FTFE after dark.
Oh my god!
Right there.
Oh, brilliant. So, as you've just pointed out very nicely, that laser is bending. So, do you want to say that lasers don't bend again?
How do they go straight then? How would they make that laser go straight if it looks at Alabama?
But that's my point, Vlad. That is the point. Laser experiment. Vlad, stop talking.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Well,
Good. No. You started talking again. This is where you stop. Is it?
All right, go ahead.
Good boy. My point is that laser experiments are not reliable because laser is a light and light refracts, as demonstrated in this picture, meaning that you're not really going to get a completely straight laser when you point it out over a cold, dense area of air with warmer air around it. So
you wish they bent.
I'm literally showing you a picture of the laser bending right now. I'm literally showing you it. It's right there, right in front of you.
Something's wrong with that laser, man, because they don't bend like that.
I'm sorry, we're going to be nominating Vlad for Dumb Fuck of the Year now.
We lost him. We lost Craig.
Someone going to be putting in how chocked is this year's Dumb Fuck of the Year going to be?
Craig, listen to me. Do not delete this stream.
He's lost it.
Do not delete this stream, Craig. Okay? We need this to be clips.
Host FT. Look, hey, I gotta get going, guys. It was great.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Good being able to talk to you, Vlad. I'm glad I had the opportunity.
Me too.
Please come back again, and I will jump in and talk debate you again anytime.
All right, good. We'll go at it again. Yeah. Right, that was good, man. That was good.
You're welcome to come back later, like we'd originally agreed. That would be fantastic. Right.
I'll debate Vlad. I'll debate Vlad on the topic.
All right, just make sure you close out the call because I'm going to give this link to somebody else. Get.
There's something wrong with that laser, dude. Don't bend like this. God.
Signal interference negated. Connection restored.
You're back. What happened? I learned that it doesn't take much for my friends to believe I betrayed them. Champions, that vision was as much for me as it was for you. N'Zoth wants us to believe that my corruption is inevitable. Doubt me, if you must. But know that I will not rest until his smoldering corpse lies at my feet.
Fuck. It's the big chungus.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today we're playing Spore. That's right, we're back playing Spore, but this time we're on the Origin servers, meaning we're logged in as the legendary Barry Trotter 69, a fantastic hero who's going to be joining us on our adventure today, where we create brand new species and breathe life into nightmare-fueled monsters which quite simply shouldn't biologically exist, yet somehow they do. So make sure you're sat back, you're relaxed, and you're ready for a good bit of Spore, as we're going to be diving into the strangest Spore video the world has ever seen. We're going to be having appearances from all of your favourite characters. I know, it's terrifying, it's weird, and who knows what you're going to see on today's video. So make sure you're sat back, you're relaxed, you have a nice warm cup of tea beside you. And hey, if you're especially fantastic, you might have even given this video a like already. Oh, my goodness, you lovely person. Anyway, just before we get started, let us quickly go into the options settings. And oh yes, not really a big fan of the way this game looks. It's all on medium at the moment. Let's just quickly drop it all down to low. There we go, fantastic. Yes, now the game looks, oh, it's like beautiful Play-Doh. Oh goodness. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So now that we've got the game down to beautiful graphics mode, it's time we jump into a brand new world. And I love the look of this planet here. And of course, we're going to be starting off in the classic way, in the cell stage. And I'm going to be showing off to you today, ladies and gentlemen, the cheeky cell stage exploit, which is going to give you a slight advantage in this fantastic stage which everyone loves. And of course, when it comes to designing our creature, we have to pick their diet for them. Well, we're going to go for a carnivore. And difficulty, well, I'm somewhat of a power gamer, so we're going for hard mode. Yes. Oh, we need a name. Fantastic, let's come up with a name. Honestly, the green of this creature kind of makes me think of Shrek, so we can't call it Shrek because, of course, that is copyrighted by DreamWorks, so we're going to have to go for instead Shrok, kind of like a long-distant cousin of Shrek. And also the IP for Shrok is much more affordable. Ah, beautiful. The Shrok arrives on a planet being carried by a massive meteorite. This is actually Shrok canon, by the way. Here comes the Shrok. Come on. Smash into the planet, Shrok. Oh. Now, these are some good graphics, by the way. You're gonna need at least an Intel Pentium with 2 cores to run this bad boy. Oh, and here we are. The creation of our first little species. It's Shrok. Look at him, guys.
Get out of me, swamp fool.
Yes, Shrok, yes, welcome. Now, of course, we are in a bit of a precarious situation where everything around us wants to eat us, so naturally we have to run away from them and do so quite quickly because they're very scary. Oh no, oh, we could be dead. Yep, and of course we're dead. Well, that's hard mode for you. Don't worry, we can spawn immediately back in. And all we have to do is get just enough food so that we can level up. There we go, we've got a little bit bigger. Oh no, that's a big boy. Right, can we fit inside his mouth? No, we can't. Okay, run, Shrok, run. Now, you might be wondering why I ask if I can fit inside his mouth. Well, that's because there's a very strange little exploit where you can actually get inside of the mouths of some creatures, and consequently, you actually steal the creature. It's a very strange feature which not many people know about in this game. Oh, it's herbivores. Fantastic. Come here, little herbivore. You have no defenses. Thank you. Ah, as easy as conquering France. Right, now we need to fight this herbivore here. There we go. Oh no, there's a big one. Get away from the big one there. Okay, run fast. There we go. So we've managed to unlock a spike. That gives us a bit of a offensive capability, which is good. That's a good feature to have. Gives us a bit more attack power. Hello there, tiny creature. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Now that is the epic creature that we need. So basically, now that we've discovered this huge epic creature, this is where fantastic things can occur. Because this massive creature is going to be able to give us something good. Oh, actually we're getting spiked. Okay, come here, epic creature. Fight me. Yes, eat me. Eat me. I just need to go inside of your mouth, please. Please let me in. Please. Just inside. Oh, bugger, we got killed. Alright, we need to get ourselves a booster jet so that we can get in there a little more easily. Where can I locate myself a good little booster jet? Oh my goodness, they are very big creatures. You can see them in the background of the screen. They're huge. You see, Spore out of context, I imagine it must sound quite strange, the fact that we're trying to fit a tiny little cell into the mouth of an absolutely massive monster creature. Oh my goodness, that's another huge monster creature. Alright, well, luckily the booster monster which we were trying to fit inside of last time is much smaller now. So that should give us an advantage when it comes to getting that booster jet off of them. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me, my friend. Give it to... Oh, run. There we go. Yes, I managed to get the booster jet. That was exactly what I needed. Let me just grab some spare DNA and find someone to create the next evolutionary stage of Shrok with. Lovely. So yes, this was the first iteration of Shrok. The CGI budget wasn't too high, so now we're on Shrok 2. Now, when it comes to the next version of Shrok, we don't want these little spindly wiggly things. They're not very fast. We want jets. Jets is so much faster. So we're going to have 2 dual jets in the back there. We're going to switch from having 2 eyes to just having 1. So we're going to be calling this creature Shrok 2. Fantastic. Shrok 2, welcome to the world. Now, Shrok 2's job is not to actually eat food, because Shrok 2, it's just a little noodle, really. It's got nothing to it. As you can see, it can move pretty quickly, though, but it can move even faster if you couple it with an extra feature, and that is that for some reason you can move extra fast with the jets if you manage to smash backspace at the same time, because for some reason backspace resets the jet boost, so you can just spam the jet boost and backspace and you'll start moving in no time. So there you go, that's how to go at like 900 miles an hour in the cell stage. All you need to do, grab yourself a jet booster and then click in one direction and then spam the backspace. There we go, look at how fast we can go! Goodness, we just embedded ourselves in that creature. Go, 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 go! Oh, we're dead. Ooh. Oh, that is a bit of an issue. Yes, welcome to Spore Speedrunning Tactics 101. You just want to spam yourself the W key. Speed and power, little Shrok. Speed and power. Oh, there we go. Now that is a big boy who I think I can get inside the mouth of. There's a lot of death happening around here. My goodness. Okay, right. So what we want to do is point ourselves. Oh, there we go. There's the big one. That is the big one. Oh, goodness. Okay, we need to get inside the mouth of that monster. That's all we have to do, and then we can take control of it. That's how science works. That's exactly what Darwin said would happen. Also going to give us the ability to have fast turns. Yes, I do believe that should give us a slight advantage. So we're on Shrok 2, but this is kind of like the Christmas special version with added speed buffs.
2,000 years later.
Sadly, I can't get this to work. What a shame. So basically, there is an exploit which you can sometimes pull off, which is that if you ram your creature fast enough into the mouth of a large creature, you can actually end up stealing it. So if it's especially like some kind of massive, super mega large, scary creature, guess what? You can become an epic creature. It's very powerful. Oh my goodness, now that's a very, very big one. Goodness me. Oh my goodness, the speed! It's 700 miles an hour Spore, ladies and gentlemen. Now that was fast. That was very fast, my goodness. Oh yeah, maximum terminal velocity. Yes, more speed. Also, let's create the next iteration of Shrek, because I have some design changes I'd like to make. Okay, so I'm going to make this the Shrok 3 Return of the Shrok. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the third film. There we go. We've kind of like upgraded the chunk on the back, added a couple of extra boosters. Hopefully, I'm guessing we can now go 17 million miles an hour. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, this is a little bit faster. This has got a bit more speed to it, little bit more speed to it. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Speed, more speed. More speed! Right, time to finish the cell stage. We actually have places to be and things to do. Oh my goodness, we're doing it. Yes, Shrok has developed a brain. Success. Now, just before we go to land, I have an idea. Yes, we've discovered sentience. Now I want to see just how fast we can actually go. We've really put our mind to it. So I'm not going to apply any legs. We're not going to land. No, no, no. We have other ideas. Yes, the Shrok. The legendary Shrok. This is probably the fastest creature in the entire known universe. Oh, it needs a mouth, apparently. There we go. Let's do this. More speed, more power, more success. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's a go. Yes, there we go, there we go. That's a good bit of speed. It's at least 700 miles an hour. Come on, Shrok, I know you've got it in you to be the fastest tadpole in the pond. You are the sharpest tool in the shed. Come on, I know. Oh well, that's enough trying to get Shrok to go faster, because my goodness, it is actually quite a difficult challenge. The guy's not exactly built for speed. Yeah, we've had a lot of deaths along the way, I can certainly say that much. Oh goodness. Anyway, it's time for us to move up into our next world, and time to grow some legs. Oh, and there we go, yeah, completed cell stage on hard setting, because we're full pros, ladies and gentlemen, pure pros. Now I have some great design ideas, but sadly before I can do any of them I need to create a Shrok of my own. Oh, now this is a powerful being. Oh, this is very powerful. I like this. Stick the knees out to the sides, okay, so they're out of the way of the noodle neck, and fantastic. I'm really in on this. This is like Daddy Longlegs, but if he only had one leg. Powerful. Let's just give him also one big spike in the middle of the eye. Okay, yep, sure, his eye is a spike. That's very powerful, very, very powerful. And he needs something to eat with, so we'll just apply the eating tube down here. And you know what? I think we've done it correctly. Yep, I don't really think this can be called Shrok anymore. This is more of a daddy long leg, because I mean, really, he doesn't have many legs. That's why you call it a daddy long legs, the big spiders. So this is just a daddy long leg. He only has one leg. It's all he needs. This is actually just one big leg. You see, it loops kind of around there, goes through there. So it's actually just like one leg, just in a U shape. Anyway, right, let's save and exit. This is a great creature. Let's see how he does in the real world. Come on, my monstrosities, make it to land. Show me something beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, these beautiful water graphics. Look at those. Oh, the reflections. They're so good. They look like the shower scenes out of the Sims games, if I'm honest. It's about that level of pixelation. Oh, but there they go. Wow, look at them bound and run. I'm pretty sure there are segments when they move where their feet aren't touching the ground, so maybe they can fly. Anyway, it's the beginning of a new day, and for you, a whole new, strange, wondrous world. Air fills your lungs as you stretch into your limbs in your new home. Dry land. The race to evolve has begun. Let us go. Look at how fast we can run. Look at how the eye just wiggles around. It's just flopping around. It's like a mace. Our eye is a mace. We've strapped a spike to the end of it and made a mace. That's fantastic. Of course, it makes so much sense. Oh, brilliant.
Day 2.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. The creature has kind of developed a little bit. I'm not sure in what way I can possibly describe it. It's effectively become one of those wiggly wavy men that you see at all the car places in America, you know, the super inflated wiggly boys, and that's exactly what we've created here today. He's beautiful, he's weird, and he's honestly an abomination of evolution. But he's called Mr. Wiggles, so that makes him cute and fun and family friendly. Although honestly, I don't think anything about this man is nice and enjoyable for children. Just look at how he walks. He's an absolute monster. What on earth is going on over there? Why are there just things floating around? Okay, I'll never quite understand this game. Oh, and who are these? Oh, it's Sticko. Oh, what a beautiful creature Sticko is. It's just a stick with a foot. Okay, hello Sticko. Now what we're going to be able to do is to talk to these Stickos and become friends with them. There we go, we've made a friend. Oh, fantastic. And I think because of that, my brain is growing. Yes, that's right. This is how evolution works. You make friend and then, oh, you suddenly have a brain the size of a small rich tea biscuit. Fantastic. What on earth is this? What is this creature? Okay, I'm not going to ask any questions about this strange looking frog boy I see on the floor. Fantastic. Now there is technically a little cheeky exploit you can do in the creature stage, which I'll show off to you guys. Basically it's just the fastest way to get through the creature stage without actually having to collect all of these parts. Basically you need to get these bones to get various parts which you can then attach to your creature to make it more powerful, make it faster, maybe help it fly, all of those good things. Of course, we've hit peak evolution anyway, but if you wanted to say evolve even more, then this is how. So quite simply, all you have to do is click on this item here so that your being picks it up, and then as soon as that item appears, what you want to do is pause the game and just simply scroll out. And you want to scroll out to the point where the bones disappear from existence, so normally about this far out does it, and then what you want to do is then just unpause, zoom back in, and the bones have respawned. And then what you do is simply go on it again, pause the game, zoom out, and repeat. And the bones will keep respawning over and over again. So just rinse and repeat until you have all of the items that you're looking for. Anyway, now that we've collected some bonus parts, we're going to transform ourselves into a brand new superior creature. That's right, the Mr. Wiggles needs to evolve once again. So Mr. Wiggles, what are we going to become today? Ah yes, this is my next race, an evolved species of hedgehog called the Sanic. As you can see, they've managed to discover fire and houses. Very good. Not particularly too certain what to do with my Sanics, but they're quite powerful. There we go, we're managing to defeat the locals, and we should be able to get some nice food from this. Oh no, what's this? Another species has arrived. What is this? It's like some kind of strange Barney the dinosaur thing. This isn't Sanic at all. Oh no. A rival colony has arrived. Well, we the British are actually quite used to rival colonies. We know exactly what to do to them. Right, I'm now equipping all of the Sanics with throwing spears, so they should become all the more powerful. Very good. Right, now that I also have all of my spears, we're going to take our lovely men. We're going to attack the local chompies, as they are also carnivores. They appear to be stealing some meat, so yes, naturally, it's time to fight. Come on, Sanics, go! How are they outrunning you? You guys are meant to be the fastest land hedgehog alive. Go for the fisherman. Throw! Why are some of you missing? What's wrong with you? Alright, go on, out DPS the enemy. I believe in you. I know they appear to be running away from extinction, but no, there is no escape from extinction, my friend. There we go. That's a tribe colonized. There is something quite appealing about watching a large quantity of hedgehogs with spears poke a tiny hut, but you know, it's quite a unique sight to behold. Well done, Sanic the Hedgehog. It would appear we've unlocked some new weaponry. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Oh my goodness, what on earth is happening here? The epic smash burger is destroying the tiny little pink tribe. Oh, rest in peace, pink tribe. Yes, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. Oh yes, we've got it. The pink enemy was trying to convert to using didgeridoos, but we've managed to jump the gun and get the early attack on them. Sadly, we have lost one of our tribe's people during the fight, but it's okay. It's looking like a good success for us. The ranged weapons are definitely vastly superior. Alright, now we must kill the tiny children too. Ah, there we go. The pink tribe has been destroyed by Sonic the Hedgehog. Fantastic. What is up with all those creatures there? Sorry, game. Is this because I only allocated you 1 megabyte of graphical memory? I think that could be the issue there. Anyway, the pink tribe has now been defeated. That's fantastic news for us all. Oh, and now we're somehow managing to heal the Sonics in one of the strangest animations I've ever seen. It's quite terrifying. Why did the developers decide that this was okay? I have no idea. Here's a pet favorite of mine. It's called the Longest Boy, the strangest creature which I've ever run into in Spore. It's really long, and that's its main feature, really. There's not much more that can be said other than it's long and its tail is relatively broken. But he's a very long and cute boy. I mean, just look at that adorable little face. Then, of course, here he is. It's Dat Boy. He's got his own little unicycle, and he's able to cycle around with fantastic speed, being Dat Boy. Look at that fantastic hop he can do. He's so happy. I mean, look at this powerful spin he can do. It's very impressive. And this is what he looks like when he's running. Yeah, don't question it. That is how a unicycle works, okay? Now we're starting to go into more of the dystopian section with this next creation called the human being. This, is terrifying. If this were to ever run up to you, and apparently this is a thing that could evolve, theoretically, if this was ever to run at you, yes, do run. Oh, please run. Some say you can't even run fast enough. Some say there's no outrunning. The human being. This one I'm sure is going to be a fan favourite. It's naturally Big Chungus himself. That's right, he made it into Spore. He's very big and he's very chungusy. Alternatively, if you're a big fan of, SpongeBob SquarePants, then you recognise Gary the Snail. Trust me, this is what he looks like. Yes, I listened to the radio series of SpongeBob. I know what Gary the Snail looks like. So before you come here asking questions about how this one is anatomically incorrect, you're wrong. And yes, of course, snails can jump. Why couldn't they? They have leg things, maybe. I don't know. I mean, when was the last time you saw a snail? Don't judge me. Oh, and this time, we actually found him, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, it's the Shrek, ladies and gentlemen. Shrek himself. He's come all the way out of his swamp to join us today, ladies and gentlemen. Is he not majestic? Is he not fantastic? Is he not also simultaneously terrifying? Oh, goodness. It's Shrek. Look at this. This is my favourite move. Shrek, punch. Powerful. Wait, hang a second. What is this? Oh no, the animation is only just now getting tested. I call this one the Cha-Cha Slide. Look at him dancing, he's so happy. He's so happy to be dancing, ladies and gentlemen. This one's slightly lesser. This one does look like pain. Oh yeah, this is how you T-pose on someone, how to assert dominance. And then this is Shrek's special move. This is his psionic brain melting ability, where if he channels this for 10 straight minutes, he will physically be able to melt any object in existence. Apparently we can train others to do the exact same as us, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Okay, yeah, this is a gameplay feature. Thank you, developers of Spore, for making this an actual playable experience. We also have Untitled Goose from, the Untitled Goose game that just runs around stealing stuff. I mean, it's very similar. Look at him. He's got a little hop to him. He's very cute. He also has this special move where for some reason he pivots on a 360-degree axis. Oh goodness. He also has a special attack move which is just shatter eardrums. Go! It's so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what do we have here? Oh, right, that's right. It's Krob, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crab. He's able to dance for you. Look at him go. This is actually Crab Rave. Hang on a second. We made Crab Rave. Oh my goodness, it's Crab Rave. Oh, Spore's back. Crab Rave time. What a fantastic little game. Oh, I give this one 11 out of 10. Well done. Next we just have this classic meme. That's right, it's E, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really too sure what E's special attack move is, but it seems to be some kind of whatever this is. It turns the E into I don't even think that's a letter. Yeah, this one I call the confused letter B. It's quite good if I'm honest. Overall I'll give the E 4 out of 10. Nice try. Next we have a banana. It moves around like all bananas do. If you didn't know bananas could move, you're wrong. They're also sentient beings. And yeah, this is a banana's attack pose. Banana, can you punch? Yep, the banana can, I guess, punch.
God,
and this is the banana channeling its inner brain to hover and do a 360 rotation spin. Very good. Good powers, banana. Fun fact, if you eat 12 of these bad boys, the potassium will overload your system, forcing you to probably go into hospital immediately. That's a fun banana fact. Overall, banana, I'll give you 7 potassiums out of 12. Next up, we have Orange Boy, the only logical progression on from Banana Man. He's quite honestly terrifying. He packs a fair bit of a punch as well. Look at his swing. That's really powerful. But it's mostly just his ability to stare into your soul, like so, and slowly devour your inner mind. Oh no, that's the worst part. There's no escape from Orange Boy. It's terrifying. It truly is. My goodness. Goodbye, Orange Boy. And now we have Woe from Crash Bandicoot. That's right. It's quite good, quite terrifying if I'm honest, but good at the same time. I hear the kind of like the mouth of Crash Bandicoot. It's large enough to swallow a black hole. quite good in times where you find yourself in space surrounded by black holes, but otherwise utterly terrifying. I mean, just look at that. That's enough to make you forget you're playing Spore and take you straight back into the scariest game in existence. Spore Creatures on the Nintendo DS Lite. What a game. I sometimes wonder who's actually interested in me playing Spore in 2019, so if you are, feel free to give me a shout. I'd love to do more Spore. In fact, you know, if you're out there making Spore Creatures in 2019, make them. Throw them down in the comment section. Link them to me. I'll play all of them. There's not enough people uploading Spore Creatures in 2019 anymore. So yes, if you have any creations of your own which you'd like to send in, then feel free to do that. Drop either the link or the name of it so that I can search for it in the comment section. I'll be sure to add in whatever strange abomination to the entire foundation of evolution you've created. That would be fantastic. Anyway, I've been the Spiffing Brit. I've been playing Spore today. It's a very strange game. And hey, if you're interested in another video, please do give this one a like. It absolutely makes my day 10,000 times better. Thank you very much in advance, you lovely person. As always, a massive thank you to each and every one of my splendid patrons to make it possible for me to play Spore, a very, very old game, in 2019. Yeah, each and every one of you are fantastic. You're a very strange individual for bankrolling this, but hey, you're fantastic nonetheless. And if you're wondering what video to watch next, then look no further than this one on screen now. It has been hand chosen by myself to be just perfect for you if you've enjoyed this video. Anyway, I've been the Spiffing Brit, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next time. Goodbye for now, and have an absolutely lovely day.
Cobra shot.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Must consume. Darkness gathers.
Whoa.
Must consume.
That thing just got annihilated.
Darkness gathers. Devour mana. gathers.
Oh shit.
Must consume.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Annihilation. Darkness gathers.
Hi. I wasn't planning on doing any videos while I was on vacation, but I do have some extra time.
Oh shit, it's you again.
Really? You really think that the crash dummies in a car,
How you doing, darling? For those of you who don't know, here's a quick rundown of a few of the things she believes.
Age is fake! The earth is flat! You're living in a dream within a dream! Have a good day.
So you managed to survive multiple car accidents and have gotten yourself a nice little holiday. Not really sure how. I'm pretty sure you're unemployable. I can't imagine screaming AIDS is fake gets you a call back to an interview. And there's very few people who want to hear your conspiracy theories halfway through your night job. But ho hum. So what do you want to talk about today? And thank God this time you aren't risking multiple people's lives in the process.
And as always, lots that's on my mind. Being here in Phoenix definitely reminds me of how prevalent the Matrix really is.
I really want that not to mean the films, but we know she does. I'm just gonna have to resign myself to the fact that there are a lot of people who can't tell the difference between movies and, say, Thursday down at the brothel.
I'm just looking around at everything, and I mean, I see it,
God, are you about to cry? Please don't. Could really do without the erection right now. I mean, what?
The moon, the stars, the sun, nature, it's all starting to not kind of looks fake.
What do you even say to that? It looks fake. That kind of is the end of the slippery slope of your lot's argumentation. When I've shown you a video of space stuff, it's always looks fake. Well, prove it's fake then. But of course, you never will. That would require some degree of expertise, and that's never going to happen. It's the ultimate cop-out, because instead of actually having to provide any evidence, you just say everything is fake, and then stand there looking smug about it.
And then being where everything is really fake.
What, like a city? Or what? This is the other thing that drives me mad. You say, blah 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 type of thing, but give no example. So you aren't actually saying anything, and that's why it baffles me that anyone even starts to follow your bullshit. If someone comes up to me without anything to back up their claims other than those guys are bad and do the pretending because reasons, I'm just going to ignore you. Well, I'm going to make fun of you, but most people are just going to ignore you, because a claim given without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
It's just brings a lot of thoughts.
Lies.
So, what your math teacher didn't teach you 101.
I imagine what your maths teacher didn't teach you is a list so fucking vast, it actually breaks several mathematical laws.
Let's go back to the division symbol, double vision.
Okay, look, I'm not much of a mathematicianizer, but this isn't a thing, right? I mean, I looked it up, but I can't even find anything on Woo sites. I mean, it comes up on Google as an autocomplete, but there's no articles that I can find.
So we're gonna keep the whole as the numerator, and we're going to keep helio, or the false light, as the denominator.
See, that certainly sounds like a bunch of woo-tarded claptrap, but it's been like over 15 years since I did any school maths, and it kinda sounds convincing in that sophistry way. So I've asked a pal of mine who does actually work with the mathematics to go into exactly why this is all absolutely correct. Oi, you!
Sick
Come on, man, this is my day off.
I don't give a shit, bitch. And what are you wearing? Everybody knows white with red crosses is in this season.
Well, we can't all be crusaders now, can we? I've got an orc encampment to go take out. What the fuck, man?
Hey, you were the one that gave me the power to summon you at will. You must have known I would abuse it. I am, after all, terrible. Anyway, this bitch. Pretend I'm completely stupid. It won't be hard. It's true. Explain why she's so correct about all of this.
This is the singular, the one. When it reflected itself into the negative one.
Okay, listen to that. You can't tell me she's not onto something here.
Okay, fine. So, her second equation, the 1 over negative 1. Fractions represent division. So when you divide a positive number by a negative number, it's a negative number. So 1 divided by negative 1 is just negative 1.
But if you look here, that is a negative, it is out of balance. It is a negative fraction. So again, it has to divide itself on the denominator.
See? She said denominator. You can't fucking beat that shit. She's like super smart.
In order to balance it out. So here you have the negative, the one, the whole, the singular, that's always going to be there. And then here you have the reflection of that, the negative one. And then it's going to reflect itself again into the positive one.
Exactly. She's onto something. It's not like she's doing a stupid one with a vertical line and another negative one that turns out to be gibberish.
Her third equation, where she does that stupid 1 with a vertical line and then another negative 1, yeah, it's gibberish.
Okay, but it's not like what she said just means the exact same thing as it did before, rendering this entire thing pointless.
At best I can figure, she means the vertical line to be like a division or something like that. But that would mean that the bottom of the equation would be 1 divided by negative 1, which would be negative 1. And then that would still be 1 over negative 1. So the answer is still just negative 1.
Oh, but,
every single time she splits it, the answer is just negative 1.
Well, at least she can do math.
The reason she thinks she has something is because she can't do math.
You know what? You're starting to make me feel stupid here, man. But wait. Wait. Look, listen to this. She's got you here, you fucking clever clog shit.
We say that computers are coded in ones and zeros. 0 is not a number. 0 has never been a number. 0 does not exist. Nothing can not exist. If it has been, then at one time it was. So 0 is false. It cancels everything out. It never could have been. It never will be. So 0 is not technically a number.
Listen to that shit, man. 0 doesn't exist. Fucking own the shit out of you right there with the deepest fucking shit you ever did here.
Well, 0 is a number. We're humans. We count in base 10. Here, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. When we get to 10, when we get to something that we cannot count on our hands, we close our hands, representing 10, and start back over at 1. When we do math, we use the numbers 0 to 9 to represent the various numbers in one-digit column. When we move past 9, we start a second digit and start over at 0. 0 is integral to math. Math doesn't function without the concept of a 0.
Oh wow, this is actually really embarrassing. For you, because now she's going to explain to your dumbass how programming works because you've never done it.
So computers aren't coded in ones and zeros. It's coded in the reflections, and the division and the multiplication of the singular.
I do programming occasionally, so she's wrong about binary. Binary is base 2 math, so it goes 0, 1. And then when you get to 1 and add 1, it becomes 1, 0. You started the first digit off at 0, you move to the next digit and increase it by 1. Just like we do with base 10 math, where we're at 9, add 1, becomes 0, 1, 10. So 10 represents 2.
Is there anything she's correct about?
The bottom of the equation?
When 1/2 is divided by 2, it is also the same as 1/2 times 1/2.
Yes, she's correct. The 1/2 divided by 2 is 1/4. The 1/2 times 1/2 is still 1/4. Where she gets this 1/8, 1/16, and all this stuff, that's just her continuing her nonsense woo from the whole splitting and harmonizing or whatever the crap she thinks she's doing to the other equations where she's splitting the ones up. You don't need to play with that. The answer was -1.
So after all this time, it turns out the crazy lady was wrong. But I had to go make myself look foolish by asking for help when I was unsure about something. Maybe there's a lesson we could all learn from that, instead of assume everything we goddamn think is correct, lady.
Okay, if we're done, I'm getting rained on, I have orcs to slay, and this is my day off, man. Seriously. Don't make me hit you with these.
Promises, promises. Anyway, thanks to him, I now know for a fact that you are full of shit, woman. Not that I couldn't have guessed. I did the maths and I came to the same conclusions. However, I was unsure about being correct. But like I said, unlike you, if I'm not sure I understand something, I look it up or ask for help instead of assuming I am some sort of ultimately great thinker.
You learned everything that you needed to know in school. They just didn't tell you what to do.
Well, you clearly didn't, and that's kind of my point. You think that you know everything you need to know. I get called arrogant and smug and pompous and all sorts of shit by people like you and your mates in the comments of my videos all the goddamn time. But I'm not the one who thinks that I know everything I need to know. In fact, I'm actually convinced I'm wrong about a lot of shit. One commentator, I forget his name, but they corrected me on something I was wrong about, and instead of being an advice cunt about it, or the old, you got one thing wrong, therefore everything you ever say are incorrect, they said something so simple, and I really liked it. I hope that you use your channel to learn as well as dispel bullshit. Nail on the fucking head. The reason I got so into woo mockings, and to some extent debunking, although I don't consider myself, whatever, it's because I get to look up interesting random science shit. I now know how caves are formed, or I have a better understanding of how orbits work, all because I just take the piss out of this shit. And there's infinitely more to learn too. But you, everything I need to know, I learned in high school. Hell, I might have bought that if you had indeed actually learnt anything.
And then they put, the way programming works is it's usually a 2/3, 1/3 ratio, where they give you 2/3 of the truth and you believe that 2/3 because it's the majority, and then they give you the 1/3 that is not truth, and then through that they can alter your perception. So they have to give you things that are going to resonate with your being, and then they get your subconscious by twisting it, by putting their own perception on it.
No, especially when it comes to maths and science. Not only isn't that how it works, it couldn't work like that. You see, they are tools for understanding how and making things that work. If they don't work, people notice. There's a reason that woo-tards don't produce anything of value. Woo doesn't work.
You don't need anybody else's perception but your own.
Remember how some of the greatest creations of mankind are entirely made by one person and certainly aren't collaborative efforts? Yeah, me neither.
I came to a really wonderful realization. I was driving to work and I looked out at the sky and the sun and the mountains and the trees, and they were all so small. I mean, like tiny. And it wasn't that they were all small.
These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. Ah, forget it.
I hope I gave you enough to work with, but I'm getting waterlogged, so...
Oi! Don't ruin the magic. Ugh, fuck's sake.
Four, three, two, one.
Sanity shatters.
Four, three, two, one.
Embrace the madness. Reality and illusion meld into
I need to
one.
target something first. I don't have a target.
Your eyes betray you. Your nightmare is only beginning.
Hail, my friends. Please check to make sure that you are still subscribed to this channel. People do get unsubscribed every day. And consider, please, joining my channel membership. You get exclusive videos, exclusive members-only live streams, emojis, and more. Join the Doomcock Army. We need you, my friends. Thank you, and enjoy this video. Hail, YouTube. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I bring you news regarding the disastrous production of the Cirque du Soleil Tijuana Donkey Show, commonly referred to as The Rise of Skywalker. Around Christmas, I reported on a number of rumors centered around how troubled and slapdash The Rise of Skywalker production was. In particular, the issue of test screenings, the George Lucas cut, and the frantic scrambling to complete reshoots right up to the very last minute as Jar Jar Abrams struggled to find the kernel of corn in that massive pile of cinematic poop. Abrams ultimately failed. The movie was like a funeral shroud laid over the body of Star Wars at a booze-free wake in a dry county in the heat of August without ice. Well now, thanks to Itchy Baka of DisneyStarWarsIsDumb.wordpress.com, by way of Scott Mendelson and @NeonHeartbeat on Twitter, we have a treasure trove of rumors centered around what a nightmare The Rise of Skywalker was to work on, and some of these rumors support the reporting I did way back in December of 2019. Hashtag Doomcock was right. Bear in mind, these are not rumors from my source. They come from a source on Twitter that Scott Mendelson deemed at least credible enough to retweet, so obviously I cannot attest to their accuracy or lack thereof. Scott Mendelson tweeted, "This is gossip, but this makes sense because whether I like each film or not, every prior J.J. Abrams movie is excessively well made. I disagree, but never mind. He's very good at what he does. And I've heard variations on this elsewhere, but that could just mean the same narrative is being shopped around. Scott, I can tell you that where there is smoke, there is either fire or another fan has accidentally fried their brain watching the Disney sequel trilogy. My sources have told me enough to convince me that working on The Rise of Skywalker was a nightmare akin to watching a bootleg video of B. Arthur nude in Golden Showers Girls. If by their deeds shall ye know them. All of us who have watched The Rise of Skywalker know that something went terribly, terribly wrong during that production. Here are the latest rumors spilled by @NeonHeartbeat from his source, a friend who works in the film industry. @NeonHeartbeat says, having a convo with my friend who works in the film industry who I haven't spoken to since last November, and boy does he have tea on The Rise of Skywalker. Points of note. He knows a stunt woman doubling for Daisy who was still shooting November 7th. Most of the issues were with the studio demanding reshoots, not JJ or Terrio. Also, what they shot for the first version of the film was about 40% scrapped and reshot, so no original version exists, and we won't get it a la Snyder Cut because Disney, unlike Warner Brothers, will never admit they made a mistake with this billion-dollar franchise. So according to a stunt woman doubling as Daisy Ridley, they were still doing reshoots on November 7th for a film scheduled to premiere just over a month from that date. At the time, I reported on the massive number of reshoots, but of course, I was scoffed at. I mean, what kind of insanity would it be to be reshooting up to the last minute on a major Christmas release? Turns out, it was the Disney kind of insanity. 40% of The Rise of Skywalker was reshot, according to this source. Think about that. They essentially made almost 2 films with The Rise of Skywalker. Think of how this must have blown up the budget. The film barely squeaked across the $1 billion line. Are we entirely sure it made a profit? We know Solo lost money. I can't help but wonder, did The Rise of Skywalker really make money, given the expenses of these desperate reshoots? And it's such a complete and total mess. There's no way for Disney to even recoup some money with a Rise of Skywalker Snyder Cut because the reshoots are so utterly and completely different from what we saw in the theater. there's not even a way to slap together an original cut of the first version. They were chasing a waking fever dream across a field of poop, and it was the fans who got splattered. These reshoots were mandated by Disney executives themselves, not by JJ or Terrio, whoever the hell that is. Is that the name for Kennedy? I don't know what that means. Trevorrow? I'm not sure.
my God.
Disney knew they were in trouble with The Rise of Skywalker. Contrary to the united front projected by Disney, Iger and his executive team knew that The Last Jedi was a disaster as soon as they saw it, and they were counting on Jar Jar Abrams and The Rise of Skywalker to fix things. It did not. It only made things worse, turning the Skywalker saga into the Palpatine saga. But I'll have more about Iger's reaction to The Last Jedi in a future video, as a source has provided me some information on this. But let's get back to these rumors. Matt Smith was cast as the original villain. This villain was not a clone of Palpatine, but an OC, and was cut when Bob Iger demanded to bring Palpatine back because, quote, the audience won't understand who this guy is. Oh my God. Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, but being entirely cut out of a movie isn't cool, is it, Matt Smith? Boy, the poor guy can't catch a break, can he? He leaves Doctor Who only to have his legacy destroyed by Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. Then he gets completely cut out of a lead role in The Rise of Skywalker. Can you imagine the narrative incoherence of a movie that could actually cut out the main villain entirely and leave not a trace? All that crap with Palpatine, the Sith Wayfinder, and the Death Star wreckage, all of that must have been added in reshoots, and everything shot with Matt Smith was yanked, all because the script was so bad. It left Bob Iger scratching his head, saying, who the hell is this Matt Smith character? No one's gonna know who he is, no one's gonna care. It is absolutely incomprehensible to me that a major production like this, the final installment of a legendary saga, a saga already crippled by a criminally incompetent Episode 8 that gutted the franchise like a fish on a pier, should proceed to film without a coherent script or narrative goal. Can you imagine, say, having Blade Runner and then deciding to cut Roy Batty out of it? Can you imagine the jigsaw puzzle of dropped plot threads, weird cuts, illogical motivations, and dreamlike disorientation that would result from yanking the villain from the film at the last minute? No, you don't have to imagine it. Just go see The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, it was a hero.
The rumors continue. Every actor hated how the movie turned out. Trevorrow was not told what the plot of The Last Jedi was, even when they told him 6 months before the film came out to start working on his script. So he had to rewrite that. Oh my God. Unbelievable. As many horrible Rise of Skywalker rumors as I've heard, I am still shocked to hear that Trevorrow was required to write the follow-up to The Last Jedi without being told what was in it. This is Kafkaesque level madness, mind-blowing incompetence, but it explains a lot. It explains the incoherence of the Disney sequel trilogy, the fact that not only was there no overall plan for the trilogy arc under the wretched leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, but the writers were not even working together to improvise a direction. Ruin Johnson was allowed to throw away all the plotting Jar Jar Abrams did in The Force Awakens, and then Trevorrow was not even allowed to know what the hell was happening in The Last Jedi as he wrote the sequel to The Last Jedi. Disney Star Wars is the cinematic equivalent of Mad Libs, where you're handed a sentence with a blank in it, and you're asked to randomly fill that blank in with a word without reading the sentence in advance. Madness. And yet it explains so much, doesn't it? Kathleen Kennedy thought so little of fans, cared so little about Star Wars, that she essentially allowed a bunch of chefs to collaborate on a meal blindfolded, not knowing what they were cooking. That's how you wind up cooking the Disney sequel trilogy, and serve up a deep-fried filet mignon slathered with creamed corn. Thanks, Kathleen. Great job there. Good. The Force is female, and the Force is also incompetent. The Knights of Ren were supposed to have more backstory, and JJ specifically went to the trouble of casting all the OG stunt guys from the first film, only to have the studio cut their backstories. Pertaining to Ben, he says that the last fight scene was being reworked constantly, and he doesn't think anyone knows for sure what was supposed to happen to him. He says if anyone is going to drop facts about it, it'll be Terrio. Other stuff? Both Daisy and Adam did almost all their own stunts, bar the impact into things shots. All the stunt people were very proud of how dedicated they were. He says Adam is extremely dedicated to his craft and likely won't talk about The Rise of Skywalker to any media, but Oscar and John are very glad to be out of the studio-imposed limitations and constant tug-of-war. And please don't take my comment about Adam, Oscar, and John to mean that they aren't as dedicated. They all are. But they were all told they'd be on one specific kind of project and ended up being dragged through the ringer for months. And I think they're fully within their rights to express their dissatisfaction with Disney outright as they please, now that their contracts are up. And y'all don't have to believe me if you don't wanna. I have known this man for years and can confirm he has worked on multiple films in the industry firsthand. Just wanted to share his comments. That's all. I think these particular rumors can be said to be verified given Boyega's statements, Ridley's regrets regarding the way Luke was handled, shots that Oscar Isaacs has taken, the horrible things that Mark Hamill has alluded to with his sad, sad eyes. Pity the poor actors who found themselves adrift in a film without a script, a direction, or a clue. Actors who knew they were being forced to be a party to a disgrace. A film without anyone at the helm, headed straight for the rocks of ruin. Is it any wonder that my sources are telling me Disney is looking to scrap the sequel trilogy, retcon it out of existence with the Veil of the Force, and lure fans back into the fold? From start to finish, the Disney sequel trilogy was doomed by incompetence and indifference, and now half a year later, confirmations of rumors we heard in December is emerging. Remember this the next time you doubt Doomcock, for Doomcock was right. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Want to help the channel? Go to shopclownfish.com where you can check out official Clownfish TV merchandise in our brand new shop. It helps us out. Also, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/clownfishtv for more art and gaming live streams that we don't do on YouTube. We want to see you over there as well. Now let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with a fired up Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to ask that you stop rebooting the 1980s.
Yes, please.
And if you're going to do it, at least be respectful.
Yes.
Of the source material.
Better yet, just make your own damn things.
Make your own damn things. So before we get into it, please subscribe if you have not done so already. It helps the channel, guys. Thank you so much for that. So Geeky was talking about She-Ra today because there's been a push for more She-Ra.
Right, because, you know, everybody else has to just get over it, you know, when they wanted their original She-Ra.
Right.
But now they want more after they got How Dare They?
How dare they?
Because whenever people pointed out that this was not the original She-Ra, they got told that they were all kinds of names and how dare they, it's their turn now. Well, theirs is over.
Yeah.
So, wah. And guess what? When they're celebrating She-Ra now, they're using the classic one.
Yeah, I just want to put this out there. It is the 35th anniversary of She-Ra at PowerCon this year. They're bringing out, and Geeky is very excited, they're bringing out a brushable hair She-Ra doll, retro She-Ra doll, and they're also, you know, bringing back the Masters of the Universe, classic Masters of the Universe. I don't see Noelle Stevenson's She-Ra anywhere on any of the promotional material.
It's the anniversary, and they're using classic She-Ra.
Right, so that does give us some indication of which version of She-Ra will probably last longer.
Oh, we all know which version of She-Ra will last longer. And my other comment is with the stuff, if the stuff was so garbage, so terrible, so, you know, one-dimensional, so bullshit, why the hell are they so hot to reboot every damn thing from the 80s instead of making up their own stuff?
We're going to talk about that because this is a bigger conversation than just She-Ra. Now there's a call for Gem and the Holograms.
Right, someone asked me about this on Twitter just yesterday, actually, or the day before, about this too, and I have some thoughts.
So we'll talk about that. Then I want to talk about why it seems like everybody's going back to the 80s, including people who were not alive during the 1980s. Like, this stuff means nothing to you. It really doesn't. So what you do is you take the name, you take the basic concept, and then you change it all to be current year, but you lose a lot of the original fans in the process of it. And the reason people keep going back to the 1980s kind of reminds me of Ready Player One, where it seemed like we reached peak pop culture in the 1980s, and now it's just a record on repeat.
Right, pretty much.
You know, and again, we keep... Make your own damn stuff.
Make your own stuff. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of this. Sorry, I'm distracted by the bracelets on Kimber because I remember when I was a kid, we used to do that with the jelly bracelets.
Oh, the jelly bracelets.
Where you'd link the two together, usually in different colors, and then you'd make a bigger bracelet on your wrist. But that was back, you know, because I was there. So, but yeah, so apparently, you know, it was on comic book resources, right?
Yeah, well, they had comic book resources.
I saw this one the other day,
a couple days ago. Why are they digging up the Gem and the Holograms comic, the IDW comic, which ended 3 years ago and frankly didn't sell that well? Now, disclaimer: I do like Sophie Campbell's art quite a bit, but the comic really didn't sell all that well, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking about it again.
Right, because now that the She-Ra's getting attention, we have to go do Gem and the Holograms according to Princess Weeks, which you know my opinion of most of the stuff she says. Anyway, so she goes on about how, because now that She-Ra and the Princesses of Power has come to an end, I ended up rereading one of my favorite comic series, Gem and the Holograms, from IDW, and she goes on about what Gem was, and how we have to do a new show of it, and then she even says, scroll down here, I love this, keep going down, because after she goes to this whole thing about how we need to, it was much like She-Ra and how they took existing queerness and diversity and elevated it. No, they wouldn't inserted a bunch of things in there that weren't there, just insert them. But go ahead, because don't you know, diversity is simply lesbians as far as these people are concerned, and I'm going to call it.
Yeah, they talk about Kimber and Stormer, and this is the same thing with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, where if you watch those episodes, they were clearly just girlfriends,
There was
but not girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. Plus, Stormer was my favorite character. Always was my favorite character. Had the doll, because I was there. And Kimber used to annoy the flip out of me because she was an annoying, whiny little brat, and that she used to annoy me. I mean, you did Stormer a little bit of an injustice with pairing up with Kimber. Anyway, but when you go down, what's wrong?
No, I was just thinking, if I recall correctly, Kimber had boyfriends on.
Yeah, she did all the time. She was very popular with the dudes. But I love this one. I love this. I didn't grow up with Jem, obviously. I did. But since I first watched the show, I've been obsessed with it. And its unexplored potential. I love the show, but let me tell you everything that's changed about it. I have the complete series. So do I. I have the Funko Pops.
Oh, God.
I had the dolls. I even listened to a lot of the songs. Yep, me too. And true story, when we got the DVDs back when it came out and they released the DVDs, it was a big, big deal and you couldn't find them and the sets were going for a shit ton of money because everybody wanted them and you couldn't get them. When we watched the videos and watched the episodes, what did I do every time a song came on?
Sing it.
And I knew all the words, even though it had been years since I saw it as a child. I knew the words to all the damn songs because I had the tapes when I was a kid that came with the dolls, and I used to listen to them over and over again. I even went and entered the song contest. There was a contest where you could sing, call a number, and sing the theme song, and they're looking for a winner. I even entered that as a child. I didn't say I was good at it, but I entered it.
I imagine you probably would have been
I
pretty
sucked
good
at it.
No, what gets
I
me,
still
though,
went
is, like,
to.
remember tapes?
Well, I still.
Like, I don't
still went
think
for
any
it.
of these people who are
Didn't matter that I
fantasizing
sucked
about
ass.
growing up in the 80s who weren't actually there. Thank you, Stranger Things, for that, by the way. But, yeah, tapes. We had tapes. We had songs on
cassette tapes.
And I remember seeing the dolls in the store, and they all came with their own little tape. Yeah.
And you listened to the songs, and they had songs on it, the theme song, and then another song or two from the show with a doll. I think it's like one other song and the theme song. And I had many a cassette. I knew the words. So my comment is, if knowing the stuff gives you some kind of more cred to be able to say whether you should or shouldn't reboot it, my cred is way higher than your cred. But beyond that, I love this. You know, I nominate Jen as the 80s product to reboot. I nominate Hell No, because I am so flippin' tired of everybody just rebooting everything from the 80s. Here's an idea: make something new. Stop pissing on the 80s stuff. And my next thing is, if you love it so much, why change it? For one. My other thing is, if you hate boomers so much, why the fuck do you keep trying to reboot all the shows from the 80s made by boomers? I mean, seriously, are you that creatively bankrupt that you have to go and do this? You know, here's the thing. Rebecca Sugar did Steven Universe, okay? And she went and brought a bunch of diversity, a bunch of originality, a bunch of new things. And she did it from nothing. It was her own thing. She didn't reboot something and have to use the name of something else to elevate her. She did it first. Y'all want to take credit. Y'all want to jump on there and outdo her now. But I'll give her respect. Like it or not, it was her own damn thing. It was original. She didn't have to shit on somebody else to elevate herself. She didn't have to go and call people names to elevate herself. She actually was creative enough to think of something new that happened to be diverse and brought it to the forefront of discussion. Fast forward to all this shit. All it is banking on a fan base and an established property made by somebody else, beloved by other people, so that you can use that already existing base, the name recognition, to sit on and change. I'm sorry, that is pathetic and sad and has, it's your hand in it. You worked for nothing. I'll give Rebecca Sugar credit because she at least did something new and did it herself and didn't rely on fans like me and the years we kept it alive to take it and take a giant shit on it. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I don't know if I can follow that up. No, but this is the thing. This is what it's so frustrating. Again, you look at like, oh, it's got a fan base. It's got style. We can totally make this.
It's got the fan base, so we can reboot it because it already has a fan base. Make your own damn fan base.
Exactly.
Why? I turn the volume down. I should give people a volume warning. When you do this video, make sure you put a volume warning on it.
I'll put a rant incoming warning. This is just. Again, we see this. I want to talk about this in another video at some point in the next couple days about the difference between Japanese franchises and American franchises, and the difference between Japanese work ethic and what I'm seeing in America, which is, their heroes, the people they look up to, the characters that they create for their young people in Shonen Jump, whatever, they have to work They have to work for it. Even if they're handed a quote-unquote mantle, like My Hero Academia, they have to work for it. But these people who come into these existing franchises in the U.S., they expect to be handed the franchise, handed the fan base, and then they cry when the fan base doesn't like that you've changed everything.
Remember when they put the Gem movie out?
Yeah.
It did shit because they tried to change things and people hated it. They hated it.
I mean, honestly, the only way I think you could do Gem at this point is actually set the damn thing in the 1980s, because there's so much of it that is so, I think...
Product of its time?
Product of its time. I mean, you need MTV. You need all that.
And that doesn't exist now. And you know what? Here's the kicker, too. When they go on about, they were based on toy lines, because guess what? There was a toy line with Gem. When they go on about that, how is that any different? They're using toy lines to help accelerate and build a fan base. They made these shows to promote toys, and the toys promoted the show, and vice versa. How is that any damn different than using an established fan base to then just to use it to promote your own version? That is no different. When you sit there and bitch about, well, we don't have a toy line we have to answer to. No, but you have a fan base you have to flip an answer to. It's the exact same damn thing.
Yeah, they don't. Again, it's just people who don't want to actually work their way from the ground up. They want something. They want a seat that's warmed for them, and this is why you see a lot of times in comics, you see people come into a situation with a comic book series, a superhero, whatever, and a lot of times they'll hand the mantle off to somebody else just because they were there. And it's that attitude. This is why we can never get past the 1980s, because frankly, a lot of people aren't ready to get past 1980s. The stuff that was created in the 1980s came from people who were raised in the 50s and 60s, and they had a lot of that DIY attitude.
Well, I'll tell you what, the reason they can't get past the 80s is because there hasn't been a decade that replicated it.
No.
Because I'm going to be frank with you, I've been alive all this time, so I know what I'm talking about. No other decade has come up with the amount of creativity and imagination and fashion forwardness and everything.
Fashion forward.
Because it's not replicated, but often tried to be duplicated.
Imitated.
Yeah, imitated.
Poorly.
Because
That's just a lie.
It was a time of, exploration, of creativity, of imagination. And I'm sorry, people that are trying to do this now lack all the above. Hell, they even tried to do this once before with Gem. It was called Hannah Flippin' Montana. They already tried to reboot it once, and they got it Hannah Montana. I mean, it wasn't directly, but you could tell they got a lot of it from Gem. I mean, at least they tried to make it something different, but you could tell it was inspired by it.
Yeah. I mean, there were so many things in the I mean, again, you look at Spielberg and George Lucas and all of the shows that came out back then, and it just feels like we're reliving a mixtape over and over and over and over again. Even Stranger Things, like, as cool as it is, pretty much every scene in that show, you can point to a Spielberg movie or another TV show and say, oh, they got this from this movie, they got
or even
that
commercials from the 80s. You could point to things like, oh, that was from the commercial, or whatever, I
mean, we're just in a time warp, and I think it's people
have... time loop.
Time loop. I feel like, people have forgotten how to make new things. Now we're seeing new things. We're seeing great new things come out of like Japan. We watched Demon Slayer and we're completely blown away by that. It was great. But yeah, America and again, I think it's just that attitude. We don't want to take a chance. We don't want to make something new. We just want to take something somebody else has done.
I don't really like
older
Demon
brothers
Slayer.
and sisters hand-me-downs and say they're ours.
Right, and that's what makes me so mad. And then they do it, and they do it in such a way that they bastardize it. And then anybody who says, "Wait a minute, that's not the show," they put their fingers in the ears, start going, you misogynist, racist, sexist, homophobic, trollish, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. That's what they do. That's what they do. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be creative. They want something handed to them so they can ride the wave on top to build nothing, appropriate everything, and then when anybody questions it, there's obviously something problematic with them. Maybe not, because it can't be their version of what they did. How about if you're so talented and if you're so effing great, you just make something new?
Yeah, again, Rebecca Sugar did a lot of animators, adult animation. We're seeing it. They're making new stuff successfully, but it seems like everybody keeps coming back to the popular IP, the kids shows, and they all want to take their own personal
rinse on it,
dump on it, And then they're all like, oh golly, the fans don't like it. Oh, they're just a bunch of haters.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a reason why these properties still remain popular to this day. And it's because of the fans that you like to mock all the time who kept it going. And quite frankly, the comic did okay, but it really wasn't a big seller.
Yeah.
And when they tried to reboot the movie, they made too many damn changes to it. I mean, Synergy's not an Eve-looking robot from WALL-E, and they made so many damn changes to it that people hated it.
They pulled it out of the theater after like a week or two. Now, I'm not saying that they would, they went the cartoon route with this, but let's talk about...
Well, you know what's it going to be? Because they didn't use the LGBTQ thing as a shield, which is what these would be used.
Yeah.
They didn't tell people they were problematic, sexist trolls for not liking the movie.
Yeah, well, they're talking about the LGBTQ angle in Gem.
One they inserted into it for the comics.
Yeah, in the comics. Now, a couple things here. One, Susan Blue, actually, who voiced Stormer, is gay. Again, this is a case of like people keep thinking this is like, there were no gay people working in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I'm so tired of hearing that.
No gay people
it's
working
insulting to those people.
Yeah, no gay people working in animation. No, actually, but it was.
Oh,
like,
by the way, you're my favorite character.
Yeah, Stormer
was always my favorite character.
She was RC in Transformers too.
Yeah, well, I like you.
She's been kind of a voice talent scout in the animation industry for years. Very, very well respected professional.
Shot.
But again, it's another one of these narratives that like it's there were never any gay people working in animation. They've been there for decades.
Been there. You're insulting these people. These were the true pioneers, and you're insulting them all the time.
Yep.
And we won't stand for it.
Yep, and a lot of them are really awesome people. We won't stand for a lot of these voice actors being trashed. Classic voice actors who have been working in this industry for decades. You don't have to necessarily like the show, but if you're, if it's good enough, I guess, to use the name, if it's good enough to promote your own career, you should at least show them some courtesy, which is the biggest problem we had with Netflix She-Ra was there was no
and then
courtesy.
the way they treat courtesy towards the fans too.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, they were really, the marketing people were atrocious. But yeah, just to bring up the Gem series from IDW. Again, I like Sophie Campbell's art. I've always liked Sophie Campbell's art.
He has mentioned it many times.
Yeah, well, I think she's doing Ninja Turtles now. Well, it's on hiatus now. That's if IDW survives this year. I don't even know if IDW is going to. But back in 2015, when comics were selling better than they are now.
Right, and premiere issues always sell the best, the first issue.
Right. Gem and the Holograms #1 did 29,000 copies, which is
still only what did it rank at that time?
It was number 77 on the list.
So it still wasn't great. That was the first issue.
By the third issue, we were down to 135, and we're selling half as many, 15,000 copies. By the 24th issue, 280, we're down to 5,000 copies. Yeah. And then by the time they canceled it, well, that was the annual. That was when it first came out. By the time they canceled it, we're talking, it settled in around 5,600 copies, which for IDW at that time was, it was okay.
But for comics in general, it was not a very good number.
No, and when you've got other, like, Archangel selling better, you've got, G.I. Joe selling better, and G.I. Joe had been kind of dragged through the mud at this time, too. Steven Universe was selling better than Gem.
Well, Steven Universe is, like I said, again, at least its own thing. Yeah. I mean, whether you like it or hate it, I'll give her credit, because when they go on about representation, she did it first, and she did it even in a much harder way, because she had to do it from scratch. She didn't just get to appropriate something and be like, look at me, here I am for all of you, representation. She did it on her own. It was intended to be that way.
I'll be honest, when they promoted Steven Universe, I don't think they even went with the diversity angle. They're like, let's just put this show out there, and we saw, okay, fine, there's a lot of influence from anime, and there's a lot of influence from video games, and kind of like it was just kind of a mixture of all stuff that I think she was a fan of. But I don't remember them being like, hey kids, watch the gayest new show on TV.
Right.
But that's what they were like with She-Ra.
Yeah. And Rebecca Sugar didn't have a PR person go and slam the fandom and put her picture everywhere when they announced that she was doing her show.
No.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just completely ridiculous. But back to Gem for a minute. I want to talk about the one thing used to annoy me the hell out of Gem, and they did address it in the comics, she said, was the Rio thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Rio pissed me off because I don't care. I was a little kid and I still thought he was a dick because Rio didn't know. Now she should have told him, but even so, he was messing with Jerica and Gem, not knowing it was the same person, and it was really, really, really. I was even like, whoa, dude, whoa. What the heck's wrong with you?
So they have an issue of Superman where Lois Lane nails Clark Kent and then nails Superman.
Do they really?
No, that'd be kind of funny.
That'd be funny though. But I'm just like, I was like, you know, what the heck, dude? Now I guess in the comic you said that he found out and was all mad at her for lying, but at the same time,
Yeah, the comic, I guess that he had his day of reckoning.
yeah. But you know what though? He's still she should have told him by all means, but he's still a dick because he thought he was two-timing both, not realizing, and he actually did, like literally two-timing them both, without realizing he was the same person. And I'm like, what kind of a person are you, Chicky Poo, that you're so okay with it that you're gonna let your man two-time you, even though it's with yourself? I was like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just tell him he's a dick? And I gotta tell you a secret, Neon. My real name isn't Geeky Sparkles.
She's got these earrings.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just had it. I didn't grow up with it, but I'm a fan because I have the Funko Pops. My opinion should matter more. I was there.
Born in 92. I'm sitting there thinking, like, how old am I? But no, I'm like, I love this. It's sort of like, I almost feel
the same decade as Jem.
I feel like it's almost like, it's like fetishizing the 1980s. And that's why I feel like a lot
it is, very much so.
Like a lot of these younger creators are like, oh my god, the 80s were so cool, but you weren't there. You don't understand. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't be a fan of 80s pop culture if you weren't there, but I'm saying there was something in the air. There's something in the zeitgeist.
Something that made these shows the way they are, and you're lacking it.
You're lacking it. You're looking at the surface. What you're seeing when you look at these shows and you look at the movies or whatever, and you're trying to crawl in, is you're seeing the end result. You know, you're seeing the paint on the house, but you don't understand how the house is actually built.
And how the paint got on there. And then you keep, and I love how they keep going on about how much they love these properties from the 80s, but then they have to change everything about them because they're one-dimensional and shit. It's like, you know what? If you can't respect it for what it is, you have no right to make changes to it.
Yeah, like, oh, I love this idea. So, okay, here's a crazy thought. Why can't you take inspiration from shows from the 1980s, but then go do something else?
Because that's hard.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the brand recognition, it doesn't have the built-in audience, but you're not going to have the built-in audience anyway. When you piss them off, they're not going to stick around.
And as much as they try to argue that, oh no, that there's lots of people that are interested in it. No, it's just a vocal minority who keep, retweeting it over and over again to try to make it trending.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if it was the majority, they wouldn't be focusing on classics all the stinking time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, here's the thing. We don't even know, because Netflix is very, they don't really broadcast their numbers. You have to guess. But I don't think that She-Ra did all that well. I think She-Ra had a very limited audience. They made a big kind of to-do about it when it first started, but then it just kind of settled into the Tumblr crowd watching it. I don't think it was doing that well. We'll never know.
But it's hard to go by their numbers anyway, because their seasons are so all over the place on numbers. I mean, some of them had a handful, and some had like 13. It was like, there was no consistency to it at all.
Yeah,
it was just, what the heck?
Like, we can get sometimes they'll crow about the numbers. They'll be like, oh, okay, this movie got 25 million views or whatever. But I think when you get down to it, it's like, I don't think She-Ra did that well. They were talking, we saw before that they put the dolls on clearance. Now they go for a small fortune now because...
No, not really. That was just on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Other places, they're not that valuable.
But I've seen people send us pictures where they were marked down to like $3.
Yep.
And it does have a very...
that was within a few months of them releasing it.
Right.
It wasn't like, it had been out for like a year or two until they clearanced it out. We're talking they put it on the shelves, and a few, 3 or 4 months later, they start clearing them out because no one bought them.
Because it wasn't targeted for kids. I mean, that's the thing. Their audience, this is kind of what happened with Steven Universe, too. I would say Steven Universe, though, has more children watching it because it's on Cartoon Network. But She-Ra, what happened was, it was a show by Tumblr, for Tumblr, and people don't buy toys.
Repeatedly, she made a show that she had seen.
Right.
She made a show for herself. She said so.
She has said so in interviews, and that's exactly what she got. She got a show. She put a show out there that's for herself and people who are on the same wavelength. A lot of them from Tumblr, and that's what happened. But I mean, when people think of She-Ra 10 years from now,
even now, most people think of this She-Ra.
Well, I think Mattel is starting to learn. Now, there's some weirdness going on with Masters of the Universe because they have not one but 2 shows coming up, and Mattel is taking the reins again. I don't think DreamWorks is going to be involved in She-Ra much more. I mean, could they do a She-Ra movie if the financial incentive was there? But I think DreamWorks is even like, yeah, we really don't know if we're going to make any money on this.
I also appreciate the art from the She-Ra box that they used to use and stuff, and how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, they used to fight over Bo actually in the comics.
Nuh-uh, because but the joke was everybody knew Bo was gay.
Yeah,
it was kind of like the joke. So anyway, I'm just saying, just if you want to make new things, make new things. If you want to take stuff and be inspired by them, by all means, do so. But stop taking all the shows that existed back in the 80s and taking a giant steaming pile of crap on them and then telling everybody else you're supposed to like it because you said so. Come on, come up with some originality. I know it's harder, but grow a backbone and do something harder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is hard. But I think this generation, maybe not this generation, but I think Zoomers, I have a lot of hope for them that they're actually going to be the ones who go back to innovating again. Because again, these shows were created by people who grew up in the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Right, the boomers that y'all want to bitch about.
The boomers you bitch about. Gem was created by boomers. She-Ra was created by boomers. But
and it was consumed by Generation Xers that no one talks about.
Yeah, nobody talks about.
And Gen Xers, as you'll find out, have 0 F's to give about your opinions or feelings.
Because nobody cared about us, so we don't give a shit about you. So that's why we're gonna be left.
We were more adult at 12 than these people are in their 20s.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway, do we want to wrap this one up?
Yep.
All right. This is good. Somebody actually brought this up. I was surprised. She was going on about how Hasbro and Sunbow and Marvel Productions. Does that mean Gem's in the MCU? It's like, no, dumbass. Hasbro, Sunbow, Marvel means they're part of the G.I. Joe and Transformers shared universe. Yeah, actually, all the Hasbro shows were connected, and it was because they had the guy on TV. I forget his name off the top of my head, but they had a newscaster. He was a parody of Geraldo Rivera, and he was on. He might have been on Gem too, but he was on like all of the shows. So technically, Gem, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Inhumanoids, they all existed supposedly in the same shared universe, but they never actually crossed them over on TV. So that was kind of they were like their own little pocket universe.
You're expecting them to know that?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I mean, you're expecting these people to know that.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I wouldn't either, because that would be...
You'd have to watch all the shows.
Well, that would have to mean that you actually, cared about things other than using the name for appropriation purposes.
Yeah, so I don't think this is going to happen. I think there will be a reboot of Gem someday, but I don't.
They tried it once in the film and it failed miserably.
It might be a case of it failed so badly that they will never go back to that again.
And if they do, they're going to try to stick closer to what the show was supposed to be, because they made changes and people hated it.
Hey, 80s nostalgia is huge. I'm telling you, the only way you really can pull Gem off, because Gem and the Holograms were basically a girl band, like the Go-Go's, which actually have a new Showtime documentary on the Go-Go's.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, I just saw a trailer for it today. It looks really good. But they were so much a product of their time. They were basically, Barbie dolls for the MTV generation. And they had Barbie and the Rockers.
I know, they mentioned the articles too, which I had those as well, the Barbie and the Rockers. I had that stuff too.
But I'm just saying, like, you almost have to have this take place in the 1980s.
For it to be, yeah. Other people brought that up in the comments. They said that in today's music world, something like this wouldn't really work.
No, they tried to make her a YouTube thing in the movie, and it's like,
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Because, like you said, nostalgia's big. Nostalgia meaning you remember things from the past, you grew up with it, it resonates with you, which wouldn't be these people to begin with. Because they have no connection to it other than they want to use a name and make it their way. They don't care, they didn't watch it, they might watch it now, but they don't have the connection to it. The people that grew up with it do. And nostalgia usually only works when it's actually something that you're nostalgic for. When you go change it, piss all over and tell everybody that it was, fans of the original, there's something wrong with them, that doesn't actually work for you with nostalgia.
Yeah, I would say make a fanfic and put it on DeviantArt, because
there you go.
That's going to be probably more successful.
Or make a show that you might take loose inspiration from, but has nothing to do with the original one, and there you go. Build it from scratch, do the work, show some innovation and originality.
But stop rebooting the 80s. Just stop it.
Because it has a built-in fan base.
Oh, God, not
you're going to insult.
Yeah, hey, they can drive away Star Wars fans. They can drive away just about anybody. So, all right, so we're going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider...
Hey, Josh.
Hello, Jack.
So, did you see Solo?
Oh, yeah, I loved Solo. It's really great.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite Mario Van Peebles movie.
Do you just carry that around with you?
Yes.
No.
Oh, it was for the joke?
No.
Oh.
Enough about all that. Let's watch the movies.
Yeah, what do we got today? What do we have? What's going on?
Well, let's watch this movie.
It's right there.
His wife is dead. He's paralyzed. Now comes the kill squad.
Nice.
So there aren't a lot of complete sentences, so just be ready for this.
Okay.
All right.
Give it to me.
He saved them in Nam. Now it's time for payback. Kill squad. Joseph was their officer in Nam. He saved all their lives. They would each die for him. They just might all die. Joe needs help. He's called out the kill squad. That's as good as I could get it. That many ellipses in one sentence is very impressive.
I think I understand what's happening.
Okay, I can explain a little more.
Oh, please.
Joseph and his wife Joanne are viciously attacked in their home. She's raped and killed.
Oh no.
He's shot and paralyzed.
Oh.
Double danger.
Larry, his best friend and ex-squad member from Nam, calls out the rest of the squad. After all, they all owe him their lives.
How does Cameron Mitchell get these roles where he's like starring in the movie but then doesn't actually have to do anything in the movie?
The only lead they have to start checking out is the name of the leader, Dutch. Cameron Mitchell. Everywhere they go, when they ask about Dutch, the people are reduced to trembling animals. Tiny dogs and cats and hamsters.
Magic. This has magic.
Very strange.
It's like that scene in Willow.
Fighting as if cornered and their very lives are at stake. Fight after brutal fight, they continue looking for Dutch, so they can't find him. So this is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Their numbers being reduced by the bodies of buddies they have to leave behind. An excellent car chase ending in a fire explosion, and we find our kill squad almost desperate, but determined to finish the job.
Look, I got 10,000 tarantulas coming in from Arizona. I got 5,000 scorpions flying all the way in from Mexico. And centipedes, can you believe this with your own ears? I got 3,000 centipedes coming in from Death Valley. Cut the crap, Father. Hey, it's no bull. I wouldn't lie to you about 3,000 centipedes.
That's a line.
It's fair.
Oh my
God!
We don't need any stewards around here gonna rat on us and get us in trouble, do we?
Hell no.
Where the hell is he?
Hey, looking for me?
You fell off a building! Onto a car. Ryan's Babe. All right, so this is Ryan's Babe. This is the road movie that doesn't know where it's going.
Oh man!
Classic boner road comedy. What was the end all boner road comedy with Tom Green in it? Was it just called Road Trip?
Yeah.
Videonomicon proudly presents for the first time on DVD Ray Ramea's road trip cult classic, Ryan's Babe.
We all know about it. Classic.
Cult classic, right up there with Wacky Horror. A good heart and bad luck will get you nothing but trouble. That's what Ryan discovers the hard way. Like a boner.
Yeah. Dicks. Yeah.
Dicks. When he thought hitting the road would solve all of his problems, instead it was just the beginning. Ryan, Bill Levasseur, from The West Wing.
Oh!
From getting carjacked at gunpoint, being mistaken for a mobster's son, to a run-in with cheerleaders intent on vigilante justice.
Wow.
Ryan barely escapes one mess before landing in the middle of another.
Oh boy.
Oh, you can't win. Finally able to go home, Ryan... Well, what?
No, just I was wondering where he was going. Because it's a road trip movie.
Usually you have a destination.
Going from a place to a place. And I hadn't heard until he said right there to go home.
Well, he's going home.
Yeah, from where?
From where? Or to where? Did he go somewhere and then go back home?
What?
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 Wait.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Wait.
What? But what is this?
What?
Where are we now? Wait, what is happening?
Wait.
What? But why? Oh God.
What?
What's happening?
Why not just
What?
leave him alone?
Wait, what?
What?
Where is he?
What? Who? Huh?
What is going on?
What is happening? Why? Where? How did we get here?
Go home now. But what? What?
Wait, what?
Why is this happening?
What?
What? He doesn't even look like he gives a shit. What?
Are you okay? Just don't leave me.
This movie is called Demon Warp, starring the heavenly George Kennedy.
Ah, most famously known from the Naked Gun series or Police Squad.
Mm-hmm. A vengeance-crazed hunter searching for his daughter. 5 youths stalking an inhuman mutation. They have just stepped into the alien-spawned realm of Demon Warp, and a wave of unearthly terror is about to begin.
So the demons are aliens?
No.
Okay, you're right.
Or
yes,
maybe.
Okay, you're right.
Because the Demon Warp is a realm.
Oh, it's a realm.
Which is alien-spawned, which may or may not have anything to do with the vengeance-crazed hunter or the 5 youths, or the inhuman mutation, or the daughter.
There's a lot to pack in.
Enter a primeval world of future shock and alien terror. Demon Warp. A transmutation into terror. They went for it. They're going for it in this fucking thing. Jesus.
A transmutation into terror.
I have so many questions, and I don't...
That was just the front of the box.
That was just the front.
I thought that was the whole thing.
Dead. Shit.
Stir you around like a soup.
You know, it occurred to me, I don't think, Jack, that you have ever introed the movies. I don't know if you ever have.
I'm sure I have.
Have you?
I don't know.
Well, tonight we watched 3 movies.
Oh.
The first one was Kill Squad.
You blew it. You are dumb.
Josh, why don't you explain Kill Squad?
Oh,
it shouldn't be hard because there's basically 3 scenes over and over.
I could explain it by retitling the movie to Kick Squad. A fella and his wife, they're good business people having good business times.
Our company is doing so good, Joanne. You know, this quarter will surpass last quarter in gross receipts, with new orders coming in every day. And next quarter will be even better.
Business.
Who cares? Where's the
General
whiskey?
business, but good. Numbers go up.
I am a businessman. You are a disinterested wife.
As far as I'm concerned, the company can do without your friend, Mr. Pearson.
Why, Joanne? Is it because he's black?
That's what the wife said.
I wasn't expecting such biting social commentary. Is it because he's black?
Let's not gloss over that.
Why not? The movie does.
We were just about to gloss over the fact that his wife is pretty racist.
You know what? We don't actually have confirmation on that. It's that he thinks she's racist. He might throw that shit at her all the time.
It's true. He could be completely off. We don't know, and we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Because she gets fucking killed immediately.
All of a sudden, there's a gang led by Cameron Mitchell. They break into the house, shoot him, rape and kill her. Moving on.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Okay, you don't have to sit through all of it. That's great.
Didn't have to be an awkward 15-minute scene.
Yeah.
Any nudity is good, regardless of context.
Larry, the guy who helps Joe, the businessman, run his business.
The black man.
The black fellow.
Who the wife may or may not like because of his blackness.
She does not like him. We don't know why. So,
what's not to like?
This is a rejection slip, man. I know that. Why are you rejecting the tool? Because it wasn't built to our specifications.
One of the employees is mad because
he's too lazy to make the tools they're manufacturing up to specifications.
Yeah.
When the boss insists he makes the tools right, a kung fu fight breaks out between the employees and the boss.
Look at all the fighting in this movie.
Yeah, karate. Need more. This is insane that they're having a karate fight right now.
It's the world's greatest work dispute, really.
This is like 5 minutes into the movie,
Yeah,
too.
it's right away.
This fight was so intense that the employee had to run and grab the workplace gun.
Oh my God!
Alright, I think we've learned who's in the right and wrong here. Only dipshits shoot their own foot.
That was amazing. In its designated slot.
That was the OSHA-regulated gun.
Yeah,
Needs to
that's
be at
where you
every
store it.
workplace. Yeah,
You've got the eyewash station, you've got the gun area.
of course.
Totally.
Just like every business has.
They apparently skimped on the training for the gun, though.
What a wonderful scene. So Joe, the businessman from the beginning, whose wife is dead, had been raped and murdered. He is paralyzed, he's in a wheelchair, and he just wants to go to his garden. And so Larry takes Joe to his garden where they have a Vietnam flashback.
Do you ever think about that day, Joe?
All the time.
Joe, right?
Joe.
They make him walk through the minefield. Just rest his hand on it. Well, the whole idea is Joe wants his old squad to get back together to help avenge his dead wife, I guess. So
and find out who did it.
And find out who.
take revenge.
They got to look into it. So
Yeah.
so it is scene after scene of, hey, we found Guy. Oh, he's in a situation with other people and has to kick his way out of it. And then we approach him to say, come join the squad.
It's this very surreal pattern.
Yes.
Because this scene after scene, nothing deviates from the all-important pattern.
Because it's lockstep. It really is.
There's a man who was thrown off of a 4-story building?
I think there are 3, but still.
It lands in a car, and he's fine.
What the hell happened, man? You slip or something? If I didn't know any better, I'd say somebody pushed me.
Push you? Who the hell would want
He
to
fell off a building!
Onto a car.
Not only does he get up and walk after falling off of a 3-story building, then he starts kicking ass!
The people who shoved him off the building, they need to get kicked.
They need to get kicked in the face. He kicks them in the face, and then the rest of the squad comes in to...
On cue, right when the
On
kicking's
cue.
done.
Every scene, kick. Oh, the squad comes in to recruit.
Because the pattern is more powerful than the fall. You see, it's the superpower. It's not his superpower. It's the superpower of the pattern.
So the universe this movie takes in
Yeah.
won't accept any actions that deviate from the patterns?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's like a self-correcting universe.
Absolutely.
Like if the squad wanted to meet up with a member who wasn't in trouble, the second the squad was nearby, trouble would just spontaneously happen because the universe wouldn't allow anything else.
Yes.
And so reality starts rewrapping around the situation. And so suddenly we have to beat you up now.
And they get kicked.
If you think about it, that makes an incredible amount of sense. Why else would that renegade pimp take over that pimp's corner?
Right at that time.
Right at that moment.
I guess I'm not a pimp anymore.
This is where I started to notice that whatever they were doing with their
They
time,
drop immediately.
done.
Yeah.
The universe demands it.
Yeah. We get the gardener, who's definitely being racist at.
I said I finished the front yard, and that will be $23.50, sir.
Ah, come on, buddy. Come on. Would anybody like a little nip?
Is that where everybody at this party just attacks him?
Yeah.
Like men, women, children just start
Just
kung fu
everyone
fighting.
comes after him because he wants to be paid for his work.
The friends come in and take him away.
So much, and he has to stick with the formula so much that he leaves his work truck just sitting in that guy's driveway.
Well, now we need to point out that is almost to the minute the first 30 minutes. And then we reach the next 30 minutes. Again, almost to the minute.
Almost
which
as if
is-
it was written and directed by someone who is very particular about things.
Yes. Because now the next 30 minutes is a series of scenes, much like the first 30 minutes is a series of scenes of people getting into confrontation, kick, squad shows up. The next 30 minutes is they go to a place, they interrogate a person, they end up in a kicking fight, and then a sniper shoots one of the squad members and kills him.
5 times.
It just happens over and over and over.
Confront, run, kick, snipe. Confront, run, kick, snipe. Confront, run, kick, snipe.
Break off into 2 again.
You're missing an important step. You're missing a very important step, which is that everyone who works in the place that gets questioned by these guys, as soon as it's obvious that the kick fight is about to start, everyone else who works there immediately joins.
All these employees are loyal to each other.
Extremely fucking loyal.
I'm just here working on my truck. Is that a kicking? I have to protect my friend.
You got trouble, Jesse? Plenty.
Plenty.
Troubles are over. Let's get him, man.
Yeah, you think they'd just be like, oh man, those guys want to fuck up our coworker. Oh, I guess I should call the cops. We should run away so they don't beat us up.
I don't want to get hurt.
What? Did he just kill him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that guy was just innocent.
Yeah.
He just saw them beating up one of his coworkers and tried to help.
So this is the next 30-minute chunk, and the whole idea is that they're trying to track down, what is it, Dutch is the guy's name?
Yes.
Dutch is the guy that pulled the trigger, but ultimately, and this is important, they want to find out who hired him to pull the trigger.
Because he's just a working man, and that's his job.
Yeah.
And for all this next 30-minute scene, when someone is snipered, we keep seeing like a masked figure.
We see the sniper. And
We see it all in black. He's got a ski mask on, and
5 different times.
Yeah, and we do see Cameron
Magically
Mitchell at
shows
one
up.
point in a phone conversation. He's got a rifle. We're just like, oh, it's Cameron Mitchell. It's the sniper.
He's wearing a mask because they didn't have Cameron Mitchell there every fucking day.
And he's not going to do stunts. He's not
He's
gonna
not going to do
he's
stunts.
not going to climb up a water tower. That's not Cameron Mitchell.
There were times when it would have made far more sense for the sniper to just shoot all of our heroes.
Oh yeah, that's something that
before,
needs to be pointed out.
before shooting his own henchmen.
Every single time
opportunity.
he shoots just one of them.
Yeah. He's got every opportunity in the world.
He can't deviate from the pattern.
When the one of them gets shot, the other one just like...
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe he wants to shoot the other ones, and the universe is forcing him not to.
Oh, I gotta go.
And now I gotta scale down this wall, I guess. I have no control over my body.
Like, this is the scene when, the sniper gets unmasked, and they make a point of not showing it, and it was like a tease, and it was kind of jarring, because before then you're thinking he's wearing a mask because they didn't have Cameron Mitchell to shoot.
Clearly the sniper is supposed to be Cameron Mitchell.
The second there's a tease, it's like, oh wait, there's a mystery.
Why is there a mystery?
Why is there a mystery?
Yeah.
And we suspected it was Joe, the guy in the wheelchair.
Well, the idea is so stupid that I think somebody suggested it as a joke.
Yeah. Rich, are you saying that the universe rewrote itself to the stupidness of the movie?
They rewrote us, Jack, watching it. Because we were supposed to have suspicions, and even though we didn't, the universe of this movie sucked us in.
So, spoiler, Joe was the sniper.
What?
He wasn't really crippled. He has this whole stupid backstory as to why he was killing off all of his friends.
Here, ask me why. This is why.
Oh,
he was upset that he had to go through the minefield, even though his squad couldn't do anything about that.
He was upset that the Vietnamese forced him to walk through the minefield.
And it was their fault
It was
somehow.
the squad's fault.
Why'd you have him shoot you or pretend to shoot you? For the sake of an audience that wasn't watching?
Oh yeah, well, okay, so that's the whole movie, but we do have to mention Cameron Mitchell, because we barely mentioned him.
Barbecue time, everybody!
No, this is before the reveal that Joe is the killer. They go to Cameron Mitchell's swinging pool party that he's having.
It's just Larry by this point.
Yeah, that's right. Larry's the only one that hasn't been killed in their squad. everybody's just getting thrown into that pool.
But luckily, they all have the same super weakness, which is as soon as they enter the pool, they're done.
They just can't get out.
They're out.
So much so that you can actually see one of the stunt guys like watching them film.
He didn't realize he was on camera.
And then as soon as he realizes he's on camera, he tucks his head.
I'm injured.
Well, these some of them like they thought the shot was over and they started to get out.
Wait, no. There's a lady that's walking by. She's just got a punch bowl and she's like, ah, fuck.
She wasn't. She just walked in. She was just there for the party. She didn't mean to be in the shot. That was an accident. She wasn't expecting it.
That was actual craft services
Yeah.
for the movie.
I have Mr. Mitchell's spike punch.
That's the thing. It feels like the whole movie is building up towards Cameron Mitchell, and then he just gets shot. He's done.
That's the pattern, though. They get to get shot before they have a full reveal.
That's the strict pattern that we cannot deviate from.
It's like the opposite of Run Lola Run. Like different things can't happen.
Oh God! So it's that Terminator movie where the universe blows up anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Terminator 3.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that no fate but what you make thing? Ah, fuck that. We're all gonna die.
Barbecue time, everybody!
Ryan's Babe. We're gonna talk about Ryan's Babe now.
Thank God it's not me.
No, this is Rich Evans.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did you do that to me?
Before you talk about it though, can we talk a little bit about our decision to watch it?
It was just a wild card.
We expected road movie boner comedy.
I mean, you look at that cover.
Look at the cover.
Look at that cover.
Comedy thriller. The fuck does that mean?
The fuck is a comedy thriller?
It should be comedy thriller.
Yeah. or comedy thriller?
I'm pretty sure like
whatever they describe it as should end in question mark.
Hey, you want to go for a beer?
Okay.
You're buying. Wait. Come on, let's go.
Rich, explain Ryan's Babe.
How am I supposed to explain something that has no noticeable structure?
Start
from the beginning.
Okay,
and go where you go.
No, let's explain it. And before we talk into how like nonsensical and weird it is, like as it went along, we kind of understood it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So explain like
here's-
basic story before we get into the weirdness.
Just the basic story is there is a man named Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first meet him, he's driving down the road, and a woman takes him hostage.
Go!
And then they're just friends.
I'm sorry. That's not my real name.
Ryan.
What's happening?
We should be there by 10 o'clock in the morning.
So now they're just friendly?
Let's get going.
This is the quickest case of Stockholm Syndrome I've ever seen. And then they have a pleasant dinner.
Son-in-law of the late senator was taken into
Why
custody.
is there a TV directly in front of their table?
Evidence suggests it was Westcott who heavily drugged his wife Krista, the senator's daughter, to implicate her in the murder of her mother, so he could inherit the Adamson family fortune.
And then she hears on the news that she's innocent of the crime she's been accused of, and then she just lets him go. So what do they say that has her so upset? She's no longer a suspect?
She's no longer a suspect. She didn't kill her mom, so everything's
good.
great. Cool, but yeah, he's trying to get out of the movie.
It's his car. What?
We're not even 10 minutes into the movie.
You stay with me, please.
What is happening? And then he drives some more, and he meets somebody else, and something wacky happens, and then he gets kidnapped by somebody, and then he goes somewhere else, and then he gets a job, meets a woman, and then 3 months have gone by, and then the woman drugs him and rapes him, and then he's an exotic dancer, and then he goes somewhere else, then he has lunch, and then he goes somewhere else, then his stalker has lunch with his mother, and then he goes somewhere else, but in the meantime he's at the Grand Canyon, and then he goes somewhere else, and then the movie ends.
But Rich, what's his relationship with his stalker?
He doesn't care how much he hurts me. He just doesn't care.
Oh, he's completely indifferent towards her until he decides he loves her.
I love you with all my heart and soul I'm committed, willing, and ready to do anything for you, Ryan. Why are you so polite and indifferent?
This is a movie about Ryan and his wacky road trip of doom. And then
Cult classic.
Wacky road trip of doom is the best way to describe this movie already. That's
Thank you.
perfect.
So the movie obviously opens with a man about to murder a woman in the woods.
I'm gonna have some fun, Missy.
In our boner comedy?
I would say no hints that the movie's supposed to be a comedy, but I don't think there's any hints that the movie's supposed to be a comedy the whole way through.
No, because it's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy.
Her security guard tries to murder her.
Not on her side.
And then she turns the tables on him.
Yes.
And flees out, and that's where she meets up with Ryan, and she carjacks him.
Ryan, who we don't know who he is, we don't know anything about him at this point. She just gets in his car. I assumed that this was going to be about them like forming a relationship.
Yes!
But that's just like a little anecdote.
The setup is clear from here, right? I mean, she's taking him by gunpoint. All right, he's going to be her hostage, but they're going to go on adventures together. And you know what? They're going to get close. They're going to learn about each other.
Does anybody remember the movie The Chase with Charlie Sheen?
Yes.
That's what this is.
That's what it.
No, that's what it feels like.
That's what it was going to be for
it
that
starts
5
off
minutes.
like Charlie Sheen. He kidnaps Christy Swanson, and then they form a bond, and you realize that there's more to him than we thought. He's not just a thug.
But it's super accelerated because we thought it would take some time there.
No.
The thing is, the movie
next
already
shot!
No, listen.
The next shot, they're
Rick,
friends.
Wait.
She hears that she's innocent, and she lets him go.
Well, and then it turns out that she's completely inconsequential because then she's out of the movie.
Forever.
She leaves him a nice note first that he reads right before the mafia mistakes him for another mafia boss's son and kidnaps him.
But because they think he's a mafioso son, then he leaves the mafioso son in a truck and ends up on the side of the highway, which leads him to his next misadventure where he gets picked up by a truck, where it's like
none of it really matters.
Nothing matters.
None of it really matters.
Nothing
But so
really
I want to go. I
matters.
want to stop back to it because we start basically in the middle of like at the beginning of Act 2.
You can't.
And then we have to circle all the way back around.
You can't
because-
analyze this like acts.
Yes, I can.
You explain it by detail. I'll come back. I'll be back in an hour. And then when you're still talking about the third segment in the movie, I'll be coming back.
The third segment, which is the 42nd act, which leads into the 22nd act, which leads into the third act.
Fuck it, you're in charge, man. You deal with it. You deal with that shit. I don't need this in my goddamn life. You think I need Ryan's babe in my fucking life?
I do, Rich.
You think I want
You
to
wouldn't shut up
explain
about it.
the Inception flashback within a flashback within a flashback?
We haven't even got to
talk
that.
about that.
Before we even know what's happening, we're still with the woman that holds him hostage, and then we cut to a flashback of him and his bike getting run over. And we're like, where are we?
Tell her to fuck off.
Now you lost your girlfriend too?
Go away.
What?
Are you okay? Just don't leave me.
Do you remember when he was kidnapped?
I don't remember why.
Wait, what?
Wait,
what?
Oh, she faked it?
wait.
Is that what's happening?
No, is this a
No.
flashback within a flashback?
I think it's yeah.
What?
I think that's him when he's a kid.
What?
And he's remembering when his bike
got run
over, and that gives him sympathy for the girl.
And then she steals money because she's crazy to buy him a bike.
Hey Ryan, look what I've got. Wow.
I think what the movie is trying to say is that Ryan is enabling her by being like, oh, you fixed my bike, thank you, we're gonna be friends, and then he leaves without a...
Wait, Ryan, I want to ride too. Ryan.
I think it's supposed to be that he's like kind of enabling her like weird relationship with him. It does it so poorly that it just comes across like she's obsessed with him, and he's dismissive of her.
I mean,
she is obsessed with him.
She's toxic. She's awful.
He's just trying to go out on a date with his girlfriend, and then she comes by to get in the way.
Yeah.
And then we flash forward, because it's already in the flashback, to him on a date with his girlfriend, and then she comes by on her bike to try and interfere with the date.
And she goes
And then
through-
she gets hit by a car, and then we flash forward, but it's still not far enough that we're not in a flashback, and she is trying to commit suicide.
She
took a bunch of these sleeping pills. Take her to trauma.
What's happening? Wait. Wait.
Obsessed stalker girl tries to kill herself.
In our boner comedy road trip movie.
Look at the cover for this movie.
A lady attempts suicide.
Ryan! Is Ryan there?
There's no one here.
No one loves you.
Oh, well, and then her dad discovers what's going on.
I want to see my little girl. He's somewhere in the city, and I'm gonna find that son of a bitch.
No, Bill.
The best performance in the film.
Oh boy! Okay, is there an Oscar for ADR?
Your boy drove my little girl to kill herself.
Now, my son will
I don't
never.
need no lectures. Now get the hell out before I throw you out.
Remember in the room that one line where the mom's like, "I have cancer, not a big deal."
Yeah.
Like that's the whole movie.
That's the funny thing is we watched the interview after with the director, and he talks about how like, oh, we shot for the sake of like, you know, keeping the production going along. We shot the whole movie without sound, and we dubbed it all later, which is
explains
not,
a lot.
It's not horribly uncommon. It's usually done better.
I'll have another one, Jim. No more today, Bill. Please escort this gentleman to the door.
Wait.
Whoa.
What? What? He just said two people's lines.
He did. I'll have another drink. No, you're cut off. Like that all happens out of the same mouth.
It comes out of the same mouth. And then there's like, and then there's just lots of really weird dialogue.
Hey, Ryan, I've been looking everywhere for you. I knew you'd be here.
It should be pointed out that the writer and director is an aged Indian man.
No, the writer and director is an alien. He comes from the same planet as Tommy Wiseau and Neil Breen.
Yes.
They've all come to Earth to make American movies, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, they really don't, and they go for it 100%.
Yeah, I wonder if this would be funnier on second viewing, because first viewing, we were mostly just baffled.
Yeah.
Like, I looked over at Rich, and it was like the exact same reaction you had to Faust when there was, like, gross body horror happening, where you're like...
But with less behind it, we're just like,
Well, it's like we haven't, and I don't even know if this is something that we can vocalize. There is such a lack of internal logic to the movie. Why Ryan gets from point A to point B is never explained, makes no sense.
Well, the whole idea is that he leaves Saskatchewan because the father of the weird stalker suicidal girlfriend wants to kill him.
I'm gonna find that bastard and kill him.
But I'm still gonna find your son of a bitch and kill him.
The minute I see that son of a bitch, I'm gonna kill him.
When I find that son of a bitch, I'm gonna blow his head off. When I find that son of a bitch, I'm gonna blow his head off.
There's no overarching goal. He's not trying to get anywhere.
Yeah.
He just leaves and random things happen to him.
Oh, by the way, keep the sweater.
It would be great if he was like trying to accomplish something while all this wacky stuff happened to him.
Yeah, there's no...
I've got to get here.
Right.
That's
and
it.
all these wacky complications get in the way, like every road trip movie ever.
That's all. You need one line.
I've got to get to my sister's wedding.
He's working at a restaurant.
What?
What? No, the
Just
movie
to go.
just stumbles into a storyline that starts to blossom, and then the movie then stumbles out of it and just completely forgets it exists.
And there's never a payoff for any of it. It's just this part is done.
What?
He's fine. He doesn't even look like he gives a shit.
Well, now we need to talk about the reoccurring themes that happen throughout the movie. The first one being that the filmmaker has a piss obsession. He loves watching his lead actor piss in awkward positions.
Down on your knees.
No, that's not. Oh, God, come on.
Do you know how peeing works?
Why'd you make me go down on my knees?
Because it'll be harder for you to run away.
What does she care if he runs away or not?
Someone's got to be paying. Someone's got to
Preferably
be
with
watching.
somebody
him.
watching.
Keep the door open.
Somebody watching or telling him how to piss.
Yes.
Get down on your knees because it'll be harder for you to escape while I watch you piss.
Don't close the door because I have to see you piss.
Yeah. Beauty of the world, the paragon of the animals, in action like an angel. But angels do not have to piss.
I love Shakespeare, and I'm also watching you. So keep the door open while you piss, and I talk about Shakespeare.
And that's how we knew the structure was changing, because at the end, at one point, he's about to piss. He doesn't have time to piss. He's got to move on.
Every little segment is its own.
You're not
little...
buying a second of this, are you?
I'm trying to catch up.
Well, the other running theme is Ryan being drugged. Ryan gets drugged 5 or 6 times throughout this movie. He either gets a needle that makes him pass out, or he gets like a roofied. He hitchhikes. He gets it in a truck with a truck driver.
Yeah.
Who roofies him.
I know that. I'm sorry, but the guy looked like my kid brother Billy. Just couldn't leave him on the side of the highway. But don't worry about it. I put the baby to sleep. Hey, buddy.
Wait, he drugged him, but the drug only lasted 5 seconds?
They'll take care of you.
And the guy says, all right, get out. And then Ryan starts working at a gas station diner.
Hey, guys, look. That's the guy that attacked Jenny on campus. It's totally him.
Wait, what?
Look at him. That's the guy.
That attacked Jamie?
Here you go, dude. It's not much, but well, it's a place.
And now he's getting an apartment? What?
Where is he? He decides to get an apartment in some completely random place that he just started working in a diner at that day for no reason.
And then
he just walks into a diner and says, I work. He didn't walk into the diner. We didn't see him walk into the diner. He just works there now.
You don't even know how long he's worked there. You never know that.
That's just his life. That's just where he is. So these women say the universe in this movie just decided he works at a diner now.
He gets an apartment from I think the guy who hired him at the diner.
Sure,
but I'm not entirely sure. So he goes to this apartment which is kind of furnished. Again, there's a bed, and
but
so
then those girls from the diner show up.
They break in and they're like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Hit him with a frying pan.
Well, for no reason, they're wearing cheerleader outfits
and masks.
Well,
they also drug him because that's the other running
because
thing.
he got a drug.
Because they want to cut his dick off.
We should cut his dick off, and then we hang it here. When he wakes up, he'll see the hanging dick. Who's he gonna tell his story to? The police?
Jenny's on her way over. We should probably wait for her.
Fortunately, they have the presence of mind to bring in the rape victim before they cut his dick off.
And she's like, whoa!
It's the wrong guy! That guy had like a half an inch of hair when I tried to grab it. There's no way he could have grown this much hair in 2 days. Lucky he didn't put his dick.
What do we do? Come on, guys, what do we do?
Why don't we take him out of state and dump him in the mountains?
Why not just what? You were wearing masks. He doesn't know you. What is happening? You don't know him.
He's at the Grand Canyon and he says, well, fuck, I guess I'm here now. I guess I'll find another job.
And then he befriends a prostitute with a small child.
Yep.
And then this is and then. What is this? What's happening?
$1,000. Hey, look. I was up there. Great. You mean you won? Right. $20,000.
What is this, the lottery? What is happening?
Well, listen, come with me.
Where are you also? Are you at your bar? Did you win $20,000 at your bar, the bar you work at? Also, your girlfriend is breaking up with you and is a hooker and doesn't like it and is having an abusive time. Like, what? What is going on?
What is happening?
You're expecting like a setup and payoff thing. The scene starts and he goes, "I won $20,000,"
and then he goes to an office where they give him $20,000.
And then he gives us $20,000 to the prostitute that he just met. Well,
because she needs to go back to school.
Took her and her daughter hostage off camera.
and he killed himself in the apartment off camera. So these characters are traumatized for life. This girl.
This all happened in the space of a minute!
As we're talking about this, I'm like, this didn't happen.
Yeah.
This isn't a movie. Yeah. We didn't see this.
This all happened.
But it did happen. It's real.
You know, this situation's a little bit crazy for me. I have to go home and get into a relationship with my stalker.
Well, no. But before he does that, he says, you know what? This is pretty fucking crazy. Like, you're a prostitute and your husband just got murdered by the cops. I'm going to go be a stripper. So I'm going to go be a stripper. Wow, that worked quick.
Everyone must like you.
Wait, what?
They drugged him.
They
so
drugged
they-
him and put him in her room?
Yeah.
So this old lady raped him?
That's what it looks like.
Just like Mike. He asked me to stay around until after she was married. It's the only thing he asked me before he died.
And you? Who are you?
What happened?
How did I get here?
Is this supposed to be a sentimental scene?
Yes.
Is this supposed to... I don't get what any of these scenes are.
I better get going.
No. And hey, cowboy, you're in no condition to go anywhere. Let's just get some rest, okay? I both need some rest.
That was insane. That right there was the most insane part of this movie. Like the sentimental conversation after she drugged and raped him that he was okay with.
Yeah. Oh, and she's giving him money. Okay. So the end of the movie, Ryan leaves whatever dumb bullshit he's in and decides that he loves the
Oh god, this was one
he
of the
decides he wants to...
worst groups I have ever been in. Well, actually, no, it's probably just top 10, but it was still extremely unpleasant.